Label transparency does not exist in alcohol.
No.
It's not real.
You don't know how much sugar has been added to something.
Intentionally put less.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to. So alcohol is not regulated by the FDA.
Really?
I just can't do like a bad margarita anymore.
Yeah.
I used to love a spicy margarita, and then now I take 2 sips and I'm like, oh, my insides are upset. This is not going well for me. I would consider mother's milk a functional beverage in many aspects, not just the coconut water, which is naturally occurring hydration electrolytes, but the booze, which gives you a nice little buzz. It's functional.
Hi guys. On today's episode, we have Jen. Jen is one of the co-founders of Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk is a canned cocktail brand whose tagline is for healthy people who like to party. And honestly, sitting down with Jen was such a great reminder that even when we're being really intentional with our health, we can incorporate some alcohol into our lifestyle. We just need to be really intentional about it. Jen walked us through her and her co-founders' entrepreneurial journey, how they started from being in corporate jobs into where they are now, and how they balance wellness with working in the alcohol industry. I had so much fun talking to Jen. She was such a firecracker. I hope you really enjoy. All right, Jennifer, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you and your partner developed Mother's Milk, which is a canned cocktail company, and you use coconut water and vodka in your drinks?
Yes, correct. So that's our kind of original formulation and our first go-to-market RTD or ready to drink, which is vodka based.
Okay.
There's a little bit more than just coconut water in there. Coconut water, mint, shiso leaf as well.
Ooh.
Shiso leaf is like the Japanese version of mint.
Okay.
So a little bit more herbal and earthy, so it balances out that little crisp sweetness with the mint.
Okay.
And that's kind of the recipe that we had our light bulb moment with.
I love that. So were you guys in product development before this?
Never.
What
Never.
were you doing before? How long have you guys been in business?
So both me and my business partner, to even take a step back, have spent years in hospitality in New York City. So we've done every role in food and beverage that you can imagine. My business partner was a bartender for years. And so she just kind of like put her bartender hat on one day, like really went with it, with the mint, the shiso, the coconut water, the vodka. But I spent years doing every role in hospitality, from cashier all the way up to running the events department for a hotel group.
Okay. I was going to ask, because I feel like working in hospitality, like there's hundreds of different roles.
So many.
So you were kind of all over the board on that front.
I've done a lot, since I was late teens working in service in New York City. It's very common story for anyone that's a student or young or has the energy for it. And then some people make it a longer term career, which I definitely did for years.
Okay.
My business partner took another direction. She's actually an animator by trade, which is also played a fantastic role in her design and her creative expertise in designing the brand behind Mother's Milk. But we had no previous experience whatsoever in CPG, consumer packaged goods.
Okay.
This has been a massive learning experience for us and definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I could imagine. So I'm an entrepreneur as well. And I always say, like, I have an MBA, and people are like, oh, that must help you so much. And I'm like, of course, there are things that like were familiar to me that wouldn't be to other people. But 98% of being an entrepreneur, you learn on the job. There's just nothing that can truly prepare you for it.
The layers of skin that I have developed in the last 2 years since we've been on the market is, I feel like, the biggest learning lesson for me.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a journey.
Okay. Tell me more. What has been the biggest challenge that you've come across? Because I mean, you were 2 women in a very male-dominated field, correct?
Yes, completely.
Do you feel that, or do you feel like society is ready for female entrepreneurs?
So I sway both sides, and here's why. One, from the corporate beverage director to the bar manager to the bar back doing all the prep work behind the bar, it's a male-dominated field. I mean, from top to bottom. All of the most successful brands, majority of the most successful brands that you'll see on the market today, are all owned by and operated by men.
Yeah.
So that's definitely just what comes with the territory.
So both hospitality and CPG, very male dominated.
So people that are purchasing my product, the buyers at the off-premise liquor stores and the beverage managers that are making the decisions on the on-premise liquor stores, primarily always men that we're interacting with, but also the manufacturers, the back-end producers, the investors. It is from top to bottom a male-dominated field. And so that's also been definitely a learning lesson for us. But I will tell you, there are a lot of brands up and coming that are female founded, that are really making waves and standing on business, for lack of a better term. And I've also found, a little kind of community of women in both CPG and alcohol in particular. And like overnight, when you like find them, you're like, oh, my new best friend.
Yeah.
And so
there's a camaraderie there. I have a group of female entrepreneurs that's like my closest friends in South Florida where I live. And there is just something that connects us.
Yes.
Because we can really, our businesses are in completely different industries for the most part, but you can just empathize with each other in a different way.
Yeah, life has a different lens.
Mm-hmm.
And so finding other women, number one, that see life through that lens, but also finding you just need a few friends that are also it's very specific to your industry, so they know that real day-to-day operational struggle has been really actually helpful. And often, I'll get together with some of the other ladies in the industry, whether she's a partner in a hospitality group or owns her own mezcal brand. Shout out to Dose Mezcal, my friends over there. And we'll sit down for drinks and I'll just be like, hey, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Hey, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Hey, so what's your next plan here?
Yeah.
Hey, can you connect me over here?
Yeah.
And it just feels great to it's no judgment.
Yeah.
It's a judgment-free zone, and it's just sometimes airing out your grievances, but it's also sometimes like figuring out ways to work together and how can I support you and how can you support me?
Yes. And have they been in the industry longer than you have?
Yes.
Okay.
Majority of the women that I've had some sort of mentorship with,
yes,
or just friendship with, have been doing it for slightly longer.
Okay.
So that's also helpful.
That is really helpful. Okay. And then to just come back to the product a little bit.
Yes.
Obviously, like this is the Healthspan Collective. We were connected by my friend Carly.
Shout out to Carly.
Who made the funniest intro. I just have not been introduced to anyone. This has not been a descriptor for me in so long, and I was laughing that she was like, hi, Jen. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Nicole. If anyone knows how to work hard and play hard, it's her.
Yes.
I was like, I love that description. It's it brings me back to my early 20s when I was just going full steam ahead at work and then partying on the weekends. I've definitely shifted a little bit more nowadays to the partying is fewer and farther between, but I still love a cocktail.
Yes.
And your tagline is for healthy folk who like to party.
Yes.
Is that how you guys described yourselves?
One of our many taglines, but literally.
Yeah.
That was us.
I love it.
And one of the biggest reasons why we officially came to market with Mother's Milk was because we realized that what we wanted to drink didn't exist.
Okay.
And to even take you back, I know I mentioned before, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about our genesis story.
Please.
And so really that day that we had that light bulb moment. So me and my business partner have both spent years in hospitality. So food and beverage is not strange. We are foodies. Okay. We love a good cocktail. We actually take our cocktail program, a cocktail program at any bar, a little too seriously. We are very judgy. We definitely judge you. If you don't have a good mezcal and you don't have a good orange wine on your drink list, fire your bar manager.
I love those specifics.
Yeah, no, it's progressive and cool and it's pretty basic in New York City these days. But so my business partner, we actually were spending a weekend. This was summer of 2023.
And are you guys coworkers? Are you just best friends?
Our husbands are best friends.
Your husbands are best friends.
So Tyrone, who is Christy's husband, was the best man in my wedding.
Stop.
So Gino and Tyrone are best friends.
Okay.
And that's how me and her have been pulled together. Organically through life. We're just going to spend time together.
Yeah, you are.
Right? So we one weekend in particular, we're celebrating my husband's birthday upstate in the Catskills.
Okay.
We had this beautiful house. There was a fresh garden, and they left us this little, note that said, feel free to use the herbs in the garden. And so we took it very seriously. And the men were out golfing, and the women were hanging out poolside. And so Christy just put her bartender hat on. And we had been already playing around with coconut water and vodka. It had been our thing for a while.
Just for the electrolytes, or?
Well, coconut water is the number one hangover cure.
Yeah.
So we were chugging it.
Yeah.
For recovery the next day.
Right.
And also, just to add another layer, I'm Puerto Rican. She's a Filipina. Coconuts are indigenous to our islands, our food, our beverage, our celebrations. So we just kind of had this always knack for coconut and coconut water and coconut product, and we were bringing it with us everywhere. And so that had already been something that we were playing around with. So this one weekend in particular, got a little creative. Christy muddled a little bit of that fresh mint, that fresh shiso leaf that we had, and, put some coconut water, some vodka in a pitcher, shook it up a little bit, served it to us. And as soon as I tasted it, I looked at her and I go, babe, we should can it, sell this. She was like, whatever. It was literally like, okay, girl, whatever. And as the day went on, I kept telling her, I was like, no, really, truly, this recipe tastes so good.
Yeah.
The coconut water itself is actually invigorating me. It's waking me up.
Yeah.
Alcohol can make me feel very heavy.
Yeah.
And we were pounding these, and I was feeling great. I was feeling alive. And I told her, I was like, it's really invigorating me. And she leans over to me. She goes, oh, honey, it's mother's milk. And I go, that's what we're going to name it. Obviously.
I love this. It's just like pouring out of you naturally.
No, she's just feeding me this entire business concept. And this is the light bulb moment of really when the entire storyline of Mother's Milk started this one particular day. Okay. And, the next morning I woke up and, everyone else was a bit struggling, and I felt great. I was like, let's go on a hike. And this was really the beginning of the journey where I recognized there's something to this.
Yeah.
And so we spent the next months just digging deep, learning the industry, learning more about categories, learning about, food scientists and how you have to work with them, and then getting your formulation approved. And then you've got to get distribution alignment in different markets and permitting, both federally and locally in your state. And then you've got to come to market with the product and get people to buy it. So learning just the different steps is really what we spent the next months digging deep, and, me also convincing her to do this business with me.
Okay.
And so I looked at her and I was like, I don't want to do this with anybody else. You are all things visual, digital, creative.
Yeah.
I can be all things sales and operations. And that's how I pitched it to her. And she was like, let's do it. And so we did.
So did you have entrepreneurial aspirations before this idea came to mind when she made this picture of Mother's Milk?
No. To be frank with you,
okay.
When I tell you that, I always say, this business happened to me. It literally happened to me. It just was this deep gut feeling of something that I had to do and want to do. And honestly, the universe kept sending me little signs.
Yes.
I'll give you one example. So, that day was a Saturday that we had this recipe moment with the light bulb went off, and then the name that she just blurted out to me. And I said, that's what we're going to name it. And then the next day, no exaggeration, we're driving back home from the Catskills. And I tell my husband, I go, oh, somebody just opened up this cannabis shop, friend of a friend. Come on, let's pull over and let's go support. And so I make them pull over and we pop in. And as we're walking up, there's a sign in the front that reads, try our new strain, Mother's Milk. And so I sent the photo to her, to our friends, and everyone kept being like, that's a sign.
Yeah.
That's a sign. Yeah. And so there were kind of one of many, many moments like that, but that was the most obvious one that was in my face immediately.
Yeah.
And I would not let go.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm big on signs and paying attention to things like that as well. And when it feels aligned, you'll see those signs.
You will.
You really will.
You will.
So speaking of, are you guys really into spirituality, wellness outside of the business, or is it just kind of you were I love coconut water because it helps me not feel hungover, and it kind of ends there?
So I think I'm getting older, And so my tolerance for things is definitely changing.
Do you mind if I ask how old you?
I'm 38. My birthday's next week. I'm 39.
Insane. I thought you were going to say like 31.
Thank you.
You look
Thanks. All the drugs and alcohol. Just kidding. You know, as I'm getting older, I just like have less of a tolerance for certain things.
Yeah.
And I just can't do like a bad margarita anymore.
Yeah.
I used to love a spicy margarita. And then now I take 2 sips and I'm like, oh, my insides are upset. This is not going well for me.
Yeah.
So I just started to pay more attention to a little bit more of what I'm putting inside of my body.
Yep.
And also really figuring out ways to consistently integrate fitness. And so I'm somebody that always tries to consistently get a solid 3 to 5 workouts a week. I want to feel good. It's less about what I look.
Yeah.
It's less about what I look like. It's more about how I actually feel. And I think with a lot of other things, I started to like get rid of a lot of the fake junks and chemicals and try to buy more organic, try to just be a little bit more conscious about what I'm putting inside of my body.
Yeah.
So I think that's more the priority of anything, is really what my body can actually handle, me listening, being in tune with my body, and then making changes appropriately. So that's why I say I'm way more wellness focused.
I love that. I mean, you're just really like, you're focusing on the basics, which are the most important thing.
Yes.
In my opinion. And when you're working out, what kind of workouts are you doing? Is it Pilates? Are you strength training? Are you running?
I tried to run for years, and running in New York City is hard.
Yeah.
My knees were like, girl, relax. You can't do this. I'm a big spinner. I love spin class. I love a little themed ride. I love a quick 45-minute workout where I feel like I really busted my ass. It feels great. And I'm sweating and I'm invigorated. The endorphins are flying. So I'm a big spinner. And then definitely weight training at the gym.
Yep.
I've always been a little girl. Like I've always been a little person in every way, shape, or form. So I don't necessarily lean towards cardio. I might add a little extra cardio if I'm really about to be in a bikini and someone's going to see me. Other than that, I try to really just do things that make me feel good. And I like the burn of a workout. So that's probably where I'm at right now.
Okay.
In my fitness journey.
Yeah, you like to get your heart rate pumping.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's important, especially at different phases of my cycle. Like, I like need it, you know?
No, 100%.
Okay, so you said the name Mother's Milk just kind of like flowed out of your partner. Did you guys ever consider other names, or you were just like, day one, this is the name, full steam ahead?
No, that was it.
Love it.
Sold.
And then, so you had this idea, you're like, you start looking into, I'm sure, like manufacturers, you're just diving down the whole route. Do you like immediately quit your jobs and do this full time?
So that was a little bit of when I say the universe gave me signs.
Yeah.
I had a job that I picked up, post-COVID, because in hospitality, I was running the events department for a hotel group. My job was an easy cut. Right.
Okay.
So I was laid off or furloughed.
Okay.
And so I was kind of figuring out my career again.
Got it.
And I picked up this super serious corporate job. And I'm super grateful for that job because it really paid my bills and got me through. It could not have been more of a personality mismatch.
Really?
Truly. It just was not for me.
Okay.
But you take jobs that you have to.
Yeah.
Right? And so a crazy moment happened where as I'm learning more and more and more about this business and I'm really getting excited about figuring out how to do it, there was a big organizational change in the corporate world, in the corporate company that I was working for at the time.
Okay.
And so my boss's position and title didn't exist anymore.
Wow.
And so I was in this random space of, well, what are they going to do with me? Where are they going to put me? They offered me some odd role in some odd department in some odd place that was not at all really aligned with what I wanted to do or what I was doing.
Right.
And so I go to my HR director and I'm like, hey, what if I don't want that role? She goes, oh, we didn't really consider that. We didn't think about it. Let me get back to you. And they gave me a fantastic severance because the entire department got let go.
Oh, wow.
Right? Or moved and shuffled around,
Yeah.
really. They were putting people in other places. And I said, this is my sign.
Yeah.
You mean I can, for the next 6 months, get paid to build my business?
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Well, the universe really was like, platter, here you go.
It could not have worked out. I mean, that was just me getting off to a great start.
Yeah.
it hasn't always been this easy. We're still, learning the challenges of the industry and the business, but it was the universe telling me, go do this.
Yeah. Okay, so something else about your product that I love. First of all, I'm like sipping it right now, and I'm like trying not to drink the whole thing because
I know
1 p.m. on a Monday.
It goes down so smooth, and then you're happy.
But I am obsessed with the transparency of the ingredients.
Yes.
Was that difficult to find a manufacturer that would like make such a clean product with you guys?
So I think we came in knowing what we wanted.
Okay.
We were super specific. There wasn't a lot of questions.
Okay.
This is what we're looking for. We need you to play around with all the levels.
Yeah.
To get us where we want to be.
Okay.
To the taste profile that we wanted.
Because it's literally, you have it on the can right here. Coconut water from the Philippines, vodka, mint, shiso leaf.
Yes, correct.
And then you also, which this is super rare to find even on like a canned cocktail.
Correct.
The calories, carbs, protein, and fat.
Yeah.
140 calories, 7 carbs, and then you have vegan, gluten-free, no added sugar, naturally flavored. Like, when I tell you, if I saw this in my local liquor store, if I was going to buy alcohol, I'd be like, oh my God.
I'm so happy you brought this up.
Yes.
Because label transparency does not exist in alcohol.
No.
It's not real.
You don't know how much sugar
They actually
has been added to something.
intentionally put less.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to. So alcohol is not regulated by the FDA.
Really?
It's not. It's organized. It's regulated by an entirely different organization called the TTB.
Okay.
And they approve any of your formulations to come to market. And they say, all right, you can sell this in the U.S. And so when we worked with a food scientist, a formulation specialist that really guaranteed everything that would be in the can would be TTB approved. That's one. And two, we were just so specific. There was not a lot of, should we do this? And we knew what we were looking for.
Right.
And the moment where we got those cans, that was the exact taste profile that we were looking for, we all looked at each other and just smiled.
You mentioned as you've gotten a little bit older, your habits have changed. You've gotten a little bit more into wellness.
Yes.
Have your drinking habits changed as you've gotten a little bit older?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like a lot of my friends, it's like we used to go really hard when we were in our early 20s. Nowadays, like I said, like I still drink, but it's kind of a rarity for me. How about you guys? How does this fit in to your lifestyle now?
I think it goes back to also just being more aware about what you're putting inside of your body.
Yeah.
And at what, levels and consistency and how many days a week are you drinking, blah, 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 blah. So I just started to be more conscious also of my hangovers and how gross I was feeling.
Yeah. How much it really affects you.
No, I can have, in my 20s, I used to be able to like drink literally whatever you gave me.
Right.
Wake up the next day, go to brunch, and do it all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Now...
Thursday through Sunday.
Now, I have to like clock myself. Like we went out Friday night and I was like, I had 3 drinks and I was like, all right, I need to stop now because I have a long weekend.
Yeah.
And this is already one too many. So I need to be aware of those things. So yes, to answer your question, being much more aware of some of my drinking habits and what I'm drinking makes a big difference in my quality of life for sure. And it was funny because there was this big kind of, sober, curious movement.
Yeah.
And what I really think that came out of is during COVID, the levels of people drinking all day skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Right? So we saw this ginormous increase in drinking and in the purchase of alcohol. And so people are drinking less. And I don't necessarily know if pre-COVID numbers are dramatically lower. Like, I don't know if there's this huge gap.
Okay.
I just don't think that there is.
Okay.
People are making different choices.
Yeah.
And I was one of them. I've also had sober stints where I was like, that was a lot of drinking. I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a little time out.
Well, it's our January.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think we all do a little bit of that from time to time, or maybe some of us should. But I think that in the most general sense, that's where we found this gap for mother's milk.
Okay.
One, being more conscious about what you're putting inside your body. There's just sober curious kind of movement going on where like people are like, do I want to go all the way sober, or do I just not like the options that are available on the market? Low-ABV became a big craze and still is, I think, a big craze. And I think it's here to stay for a while.
Yep.
And I also recognized RTDs, ready to drinks, is the fastest growing category in alcohol.
Yeah.
So the combo of a lot of the cultural movements that were happening coming out of COVID, the conversations that were happening are all what led us towards to launch Mother's Milk.
Okay. So you mentioned low ABV. Something I love about your product is that it's actually like a little bit higher ABV, right? It's 9% alcohol.
Yes.
So you have a strong drink if you want it.
Correct.
But then in my mind, I'm like, but if I wanted to like stretch it, I could just water it down a little bit. How would you recommend doing so?
So there's a lot of different ways that you can play with it. I always say, sometimes when we're at tastings, we'll get feedback and they'll go 9%. And I'll go, yes, more than your average seltzer, but still like less than a glass of wine, right? So a glass of wine is anywhere from like 10 to 15%. I think 10 to 12 is pretty standard.
Okay.
So we're right at that cusp. And that was also really intentional.
Yeah.
Because one, coconut water does a really good job at masking the taste of alcohol, especially vodka. And if we came down lower, it would be like really scary that you would be drinking and not taste the alcohol. I mean, that was our experience. That's how we felt.
Okay.
And we also wanted something that actually hits, that actually gets you there.
Right.
I mean, I make the joke that I was like at a Yankee game and I must have been like $75 in on high noons. And I was like, I use the bathroom 10 times and I'm not even drunk.
Yeah.
What did I just spend all my money on? It's alcohol. I want to get there. And so we think the 9% is a nice balance.
Yeah.
You can definitely kind of relax, pour it over ice and take it easy and sip it a little slow to stretch it out a bit. But, you know, we also have friends that sometimes they're like, oh, when it's one of those nights where they're like, oh, no, this is our chaser.
Yeah.
This is our chaser to our shots of vodka. It kind of depends. So we see ourselves as this nice middle tier where you actually can get somewhere. You can get a nice little buzz. You'll feel great. I also love personally the drunk that you actually get from Mother's Milk.
Okay.
It's a fun little bubbly, giggly drunk. And, you know, you can decide to like turn it up a notch, take some vodka shots, spike it with some more vodka, or you can kind of pour it over ice and just mellow it out and sip it a little slow. So I think it's that nice middle tier.
I love that. No, that's exactly what it feels like. It's that nice middle tier where it's, yes, like I love wine, but I have to be in a wine drinking mood. Like I'm not, like I'm very like wine will make me tired. So it's more of like I'm drinking it over dinner, whereas like this feels like the perfect thing to have at a party, to have, you know, day drinking by a pool, something like that. And yeah, I always notice a big difference when something's made with clean ingredients.
Yes.
The way I feel.
Always.
Like how you're saying, like that like fun, bubbly, giggly buzz I get when I have clean ingredients in my drink. And I do not feel the same way if I'm drinking like, you know, no shade, but like a White Claw.
No.
Right?
You don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Back to just like the entrepreneurial side of everything. Have you had any pinch me moments so far where you're like, wow, this is really freaking cool that we're doing this?
Pinch me moments. So I feel that in general, I'm not good at celebrating my wins. Okay. I already like, okay, great. We've passed this big milestone. I'm already 10 steps ahead. Like I already know what I'm looking. I'm like, it's not enough. It's not enough, right? So that's one of my problems where like, I'm already like, okay, thanks, moving on, right? So, but I need to spend more time like enjoying the wins. But every time somebody that I give my quick pitch or I just give my quick little, this is who we are and this is what we do, and they look at me wide-eyed and they just go, congratulations. That is a pinch me moment.
Yeah.
Just the congratulations that you got here and did this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pinch me moment. It's like, it brings me back to my center, and actually the fact that I'm doing it is insane.
Yeah.
So I think that's always a little nice pinch me moment when somebody's just like, congrats on how far you've gone. I'm like, ooh, yes.
It's in those little moments, isn't it? It's like, I agree. And, you know, I think that's probably the New York in you, that it's like, it feels like it's never enough and you just want to be 10 steps ahead of where you are.
Yeah.
But at least for me, I feel the same way when somebody like I'm doing it. I have 3 businesses and I'm just moving a million miles a minute all the time. And it does constantly feel like, oh, I can't believe we're not, making a larger profit by this point. And then like you talk to somebody who, for me, it's a lot of times it'll be somebody I spoke to about my business 5 years ago or 4 years ago, right? And then I'll catch up with them now and they're like, by the way, how's it going? You were really struggling with this last time I saw you. And I'm like, oh my God, that is like that was a blip in the road. Like it was like this catastrophic thing for me at that time, but we have overcome it tenfold now. And those are the cool moments. Like I feel like when you walk away and you reflect, you're like, okay, we've come a really far way.
Wow. You're like, wow, we did that? Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome. So speaking of being a New Yorker, both you and your partner are New Yorkers, right?
Yes.
Like born and bred?
Born and raised in New York City. I grew up in the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Really?
Very different.
That's awesome.
Lower East Side, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
And my business partner grew up in Flushing, Queens. So she's a Queens girly. Okay. We're, my family's from the island of Puerto Rico. Some of her family is from the island of the Philippines. And that was also obviously really important to our storyline.
Right.
Because we actually source all of our coconut product from the Philippines.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. How do you feel like New York is infused into your brand a little bit?
So what I love about Mother's Milk is we are promoting escapism, but we're in the convenience of a can.
Yeah.
So we belong everywhere and anywhere.
Love.
Yeah.
What markets or I guess like distribution channels are you really channeling or are you really manifesting right now? Like where are you looking to be next?
Yes. So definitely coming into the second year in the business, you learn the cadence of the business and you learn how highly seasonal the Northeast is. I always tell the story about like I go from my hot coffee to my iced coffee and I switch back and it's a hard switch, during that time of year. I do that with my cocktails as well. So what we're planning on doing, and I should say we're manifesting it, but it's already in the works, is launch in warmer climates where we think that we will have more consistency all year round.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, I was just about to say West Palm Beach, like this will fly off the shelves. People will love it.
I had a mentor of mine one time look at me and go, I know you can't see this right now, but New York is not going to be your biggest market.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the New Yorker nowhere girl in me is like, what are you talking about? And immediately I took that very seriously and was like, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And so now it's just planning launches in the new markets strategically and intentionally. And so we've got some big plans for 2026.
I love that. What would be a dream partnership for you?
So that's a loaded question because there's so much that I want to do.
Yeah.
But I would probably say I'm going to manifest some more partnerships and some more brand activations with Vacations Inc., which is a sunscreen brand.
Cool.
They've been a great supporter of ours and vice versa. And we've been bringing them along to some of our events and activations. So I want to do more with them.
Okay.
They believed in us when we were very early and young and supported us. So I want to give back and maybe figure out how we can actually bring Mother's Milk a little bit more into their product line. There's this really cool clothing brand. It's called New Yorker Sunshine.
Okay.
And I'm just a fan of theirs. And so that's like a personal thing that I want to do is I'm like, I feel like they haven't done enough fun summer spring wear.
Okay.
I need to see more bathing suits, maybe some stuff for the girlies that they haven't really tapped into.
Okay.
So I think that's a cool like brand partnership. But on the larger scale, like I need to be on these Disney cruises. I need to be on Carnival Cruise Lines. I need to be in every hotel lobby that Highgate has to offer.
Yeah.
So those are much larger brand partnerships that I'm really interested in navigating a bit more.
I love that so much. What advice would you give to other women who want to build something fun and meaningful in the wellness space?
Maybe not specific to the wellness space, but maybe just in general. If you have a idea that solves a problem, doesn't exist, it's new, do it.
Yeah.
I'm living proof that you can.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like live in it to one particular area. I just think that women are superhuman. And I look at the women in my life and how much they juggle and what they do, full-time mommies, going back to school, taking care of a household, running businesses, while, keeping your husband, your partner, your friendships, your family all in alignment, it's not easy. So I just think that if you're a woman and you have a cool, unique idea that is something that hasn't been done, and you just have this fire, do it.
I love that. Just don't be scared.
Yeah.
You're going to be scared, but just do it anyway.
You're going to be frightened.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I actually tell myself that often. I'm like, I can always look back and say I did it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Okay, before we wrap up, I have a quick rapid fire round for us. Okay. What is your go-to cocktail order besides Mother's Milk?
Okay. When Mother's Milk is not available, and by the way, I'm so annoying. I will go to a bar and I'll go with my friends that I think that we belong at, and I'll go, hey, do you have Mother's Milk? You don't? I guess. And so we love to like play that game. But when there's not Mother's Milk available, I'm highly seasonal, right? So like this weekend, it's getting a little bit chillier in New York, and I'm a mezcal Negroni gal.
Okay.
But in the summer, I love a Moscow Mule.
I love a Moscow Mule too.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Ginger. I'll have to try that though, mezcal Negroni.
Oh my God, she hits. Ooh. Yeah, you don't need a whole lot of them, and I think it's perfect for this time of year.
Yeah, I love that. It is funny because we come to New York probably like quarterly, like on average. Like I just miss living here so much, so I take any opportunity I get to come.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at home I really don't drink a lot. Like it's really like if there's a wedding or like a big thing, then I'll have a drink. But when I'm in New York, I'm like, we're doing dinner and cocktails. It's just
organic.
Ingrained.
Yeah, it's just ingrained.
It's ingrained in the experience.
It's organic. It's also because the food and beverage scene is just so out of control here, and there's so many cool spots that you like feel like you have to go see and get into. So I think you're like pulled.
You are.
You're pulled,
and it just feels right.
It does.
Okay, a morning routine must have.
Walking my dog with my coffee in my hand.
Okay.
He's my pup Bean. I'm obsessed with him.
What kind of dog?
We think he's a Maltese Yorkie. We don't know. He's a rescue. So it's like one of those where there's questions.
Yeah.
One day I'll figure it out. But I love the consistency of every day waking up with him in bed. Because yes, my dog sleeps in bed with me. It's the best thing in the world. And taking him for a little walk and having my coffee in my hand is meditative.
Yeah, I love that. New York City neighborhood that feels most like you?
Well, I'm the Lower East Side of Manhattan, honey. I mean, born and raised. I still live in downtown Manhattan. I'm a downtown girl for life. So I think that there's nothing like more me than the LES. And also, I think just the way the Lower East Side has changed over the years, but it's still got like pockets of authenticity.
Yeah.
Is really hard to like find elsewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you mentioned earlier it's very different now. Than
so different.
Then. I actually lived like on the corner of the Lower East Side. That was my last apartment before I left. And I loved it. But now it's like super artsy and like quite like gentrified. What was it like when you were growing up there?
It was way more community oriented, I would definitely say, than it is now. But I do think that there's just like certain pockets of the Lower East Side that still really have that community feel.
Yeah.
And, it's weird. Not everybody loves this, but it changes so much.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that I'll walk down a block that I haven't walked down in months. And I'll go, oh, what's this now here?
Yeah.
Oh, what's this here? And so it always just feels fun and new. And
yeah.
It's definitely consistent in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's one of my favorite things about New York in general.
Yes.
Like, obviously, there are the institutions that, like, you love the consistency of them, but just the general, like, embrace of change that the city has.
Yes.
I love. It's, like, one of the things I love most about it.
Yes, absolutely.
What is one wellness trend you secretly love?
I would probably say functional beverages is pretty massive. I mean, Pepsi just bought a functional beverage brand for $1.9 billion.
Yep.
So I would consider Mother's Milk a functional beverage in many aspects, not just a coconut water, which is naturally occurring hydration electrolytes, but the booze, which gives you a nice little buzz. It's functional. I think the functional beverage wave is big. You know, the mushroom coffees, the probiotic drinks is something that I definitely buy into. And I think that there's a lot of great attributes to it. So I'd probably say that's one of the waves that I'm definitely riding.
I love that. And what's one wellness trend you think needs to go?
Ugh. What's a wellness trend that needs to go? This is tough, but I would probably say, I'm going to get hate for this. I don't love Pilates.
That's fine.
I try it so many times and I'm always like, it's just not for me. Maybe I'm not getting the right classes or the right instructors. People are diehard. People love it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's just not for me.
Listen, not everything needs to be for everybody.
Yes.
You know, like it's like, why, like, let's be individual. I kind of love that you say that because it makes me like sometimes I'm just like, we're all just living the same life where I'm like, I love matcha, I love Pilates, I love that. And so does every other basic girl in the world. Some people don't.
Can't do it. It's
So
not for me.
do your other stuff
I've
that
tried.
you love.
I've tried over and over and over again.
Drink your coffee and go strength train and do
There we go.
spin.
There we go. There we go.
Because
Absolutely.
those businesses need love too, you know? Like,
Yep.
No, I love that. Okay. That was a good answer. What is a song that instantly puts you in a good mood?
Okay, so I want to say Anything Benito, Bad Bunny right now. I mean, I was listening to DTMF on my way over here, just to put me in a good mood and get my energy up. And just what he's doing right now is so inspiring that every time I hear a little Bad Bunny, I'm just a little perked up. I'm just a little pep in my step.
I love that.
Yeah.
What is your favorite way to recover after a big night out?
Bacon, egg, and cheese
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
on a whole wheat bagel. That's my preference.
That's okay.
I really love a bacon, egg, and cheese on a whole wheat bagel. It's just got the egg. It's got the grease. It's got a little bit of everything. I prefer it these days with turkey bacon because I'm making smarter choices.
Love.
But that's definitely one of my recovery tools because like my body's just like craving normally food. But also like just rotting on my couch.
Yep.
Life is so busy. Your brain moves a million miles a minute. I am one of those people, like I don't know how to stay still.
Yep.
And I always feel like I should be doing more and there's something else that I need to be doing. And so sometimes intentionally taking a day to rot.
Yeah.
With my bacon, egg, and cheese and my Coca-Cola is actually recovery time for me.
Yes. Rest is the most important
Yeah.
piece, in my opinion. And that's something that like I'm like trying to like, I know it. I'm trying to embody it regularly these days. It's like, because everything, like I've dealt with so many different health and inflammatory issues. And it's like, you know, is it the dairy? Is it the gluten? Is it the sugar? Is it this? It's the stress.
It's the cortisol level.
It's the cortisol levels. It's the stress and it's the pushing. Like, I'm like, oh, like, you know, I'll get 7.5 hours of sleep tonight. And 7 hours, I need 8 to 9 hours.
I do.
That's just me. It's the way my body works. So rest is like number one priority these days.
100% prioritizing it.
Love.
Yeah.
Okay, our last one. If Mother's Milk had a tagline for life, what would it be?
Ooh, okay. So we have quite a few different taglines.
Okay.
But by far my favorite is paradise wherever you are.
Where do you envision, like when you think of paradise, where are you sitting?
Oh, what's paradise for me? I always make the joke that I grew up on the island of Manhattan, so I am an island girl. But for sure, I love the beach. I love water. But really, in the most general sense, just like anywhere my loved ones are is paradise.
Yeah.
We have fun anywhere we go. So truly like paradise wherever you are, wherever I'm just surrounded by my loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're with fun people, you have fun.
100%.
I
Yep.
love-
Yes.
Well, this is the beginning of my petition for you guys to start activating in West Palm Beach.
Yes.
because-
Working on it actively, I promise.
Okay, good. Well, let me know if I can help in any way.
Thank you. So if you want to ship Mother's Milk your way, Total Wines and More
Okay.
does ship.
Oh, great.
And I would probably say if you're in New York City, one of the first accounts to pick us up, and definitely our biggest account in New York is Astor Wines in Soho.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So everyone's always like, where can I get you? And I'm like, people always end up in Soho somehow.
Oh, yeah.
So I always kind of push people there. And in New York State, you have to find us in liquor stores.
Right.
So people ask that question often.
Right.
Can I get you in a grocery store? Not in New York.
Right.
But Total Wines and More Ships and Astor Wines in Soho is probably why we send most of our traffic.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Awesome.
And where can people find you and the brand?
Yes. So follow us on Instagram. It's our Bible at Drink Mother's Milk. You can follow our journey, see, who we are, what we're doing. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well, Jennifer Roman-Matito. I'm using my married name now. And of course, just anywhere that you see us out, please pick us up, grab a can, grab a 4-pack, and support a small female-founded business.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. This podcast was brought to you by Pureform, a comprehensive wellness center in Boca Raton, Florida. The website is pureformhealth.com, or you can find us on Instagram at pureformhealth. Feel free to message us with any questions, and note that you can connect with our providers for consultations over Zoom, from everything from stem cell therapy to hormone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. That's it for this episode of the Healthspan Collective. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, we'd love for you to rate, review, subscribe, and send it to a friend. We'd also love to connect with you on Instagram. Follow the podcast at Healthspan Collective and me at Nicole J. Doran. And leave us a comment on our latest post, letting us know what you'd like us to cover next.